Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to our channel, and a quick one today, but a powerful one that will potentially change the trajectory of your week. This video may just get you out of a cycle, wake you up from a cycle that is controlling you when you didn't even realize it was. Let's wake up and talk about it. This video is all about my concept of emotional ransom. When we hold our own emotions at ransom, our emotional experience that is in our control, we hold it at ransom to waiting for something outside us or external to change. And a common insidious way that this happens in our lives is with other people's moods, with how other people feel, or with our thoughts about how we think other people might react to us. So let me say it this way. If your mood, how you feel, and your decisions, what you decide to do or think, is dictated by how somebody else feels, they control you. Let me give you a more tangible example. So if you find somebody else in your life is strutting around angry, if you find somebody is feeling disappointed with your decision, if you find somebody in your life is even happy when you do certain things, it is very common for us to make decisions about what we do and don't do, and even what we think, to try and influence those feelings that they're having, to try and perpetuate, sustain that happiness or whatever pleasant, positive emotion we would like for them to feel, or to try and do things to have them stop feeling those negative emotions, stop feeling that disappointment or that sadness or anger, for example. Now, rewind. There's nothing wrong with caring about how other people feel. I quite like that in a person, that somebody cares about how I feel. I like that for myself, that I care about how other people feel. However, we always want to balance this with showing up in our integrity, because the problem is if we make it our top priority to try and control how somebody else is feeling, whether they're feeling positive or negative, then that means that we do need to inevitably step out of our integrity, not line up, not be aligned with our priorities in order to do the things that supposedly affect their emotional state, right? And I want to ask you, do you want that for yourself? I really need you to slow down and ask yourself, because particularly for women, it can commonly feel like the right thing to do, the good thing to do, is to prioritize how other people feel. That should be the most important thing to us in our lives, to make other people feel good and to stop other people feeling bad. But that's not the end of the story, right? If it means that we have to make a different decision from what was in our integrity, if it means that we have to allocate resources to doing the thing to change how they feel, that we would otherwise put somewhere else that's aligned with us and what we want and our mission and what we think is really important. If it means we ignore ourselves and dismiss ourselves and don't consider what we want, then doing this nice, considerate thing suddenly becomes not very nice at all. And until you can see that trade-off, managing others' emotions, then you're going to keep reaching for what seems like a harmless and noble thing to do to make somebody else feel better or keep somebody else feeling good or stop them from feeling bad. But I need you to see the other side of this trade-off. Our decisions always come with trade-offs. And too often we don't consider our integrity and ourselves and what we want in that trade-off. And I just want to send this video to you so you can stop, slow down, reflect, bring that factor back into your considerations if you've forgotten about it, if you've lost touch with that recently. Now, I'm not even going to talk about today the fact that we cannot actually control how other people feel, right? This is one of the core premises of coaching, one of the major life-changing things that I retrain people in coaching, because it's very easy to slip into the trap of believing that we can actually control people. We seem to be able to see so much evidence in our life of how we do something or don't do something, and then that seems to directly affect somebody else's mood. But that is not the case. That's not how it works. Other people's emotions are theirs. They have their own cognitive programs. Therefore, their emotions come from their thoughts, and we have our own cognitive programs. Our emotions come from our thoughts. Our behaviors come from our emotions, which come from our thoughts. And these two things do not overlap. I have many other videos explaining this concept in different contexts. And if that's something that you feel stuck on, or if you heard that and you were like, what? That doesn't make sense. That's not true. I have so many other videos that explain this concept in different contexts. And it often comes up with people pleasing. And I've got a whole playlist on people pleasing. So go and check out that playlist, because this concept, getting free of this lie, is going to free you up to finally live your life in a way that doesn't waste your energy trying to control something that you can't. I do not want to see that anymore. I want better for you. Now, the final thing I want to offer you in this situation is the fact that you might feel like you're making that choice out of your own volition. And I want to explain why that can also be a trap. That can also be coming from a lack of self-awareness and the ability to see your thoughts and then to critically think about your thoughts. Because yeah, at the end of the day, you are always the person deciding what you do and don't do. You are the person deciding, I'm going to choose to be nice. I'm going to choose to try and change how this person feels in this situation. And you might even do that with the awareness that you are self-sacrificing from your integrity and your mission. But here is another trap that comes up with my clients, especially women who are being conditioned to believe that it is selfish or some kind of moral failing or character flaw or a terrible, unforgivable thing to not prioritize how somebody else feels. So a Hobsons choice is one in which there isn't really a second option available. So it's a choice in which, say you're given two choices, but one choice is so unattractive that you would never actually realistically pick it at all. Essentially, there is only one thing for you to choose. And I see this happening with this situation of choosing to prioritize trying to control somebody else's emotions. Because one choice is do something to try and control somebody's emotions, prioritize somebody else's emotions. And the other choice in our minds, the way that our minds offer it, largely because of all of the conditioning we've received over our lives, is be selfish, be a bad person, be inconsiderate, be unlikable, be unlovable by choosing not to prioritize somebody else's emotional state in the moment. These are the things that our mind will tell us it means about us. And so, as much as you might feel like you are choosing to attend to somebody else's emotions, if your mind is only offering you these two choices, you are not really making a choice. You don't have choice. You haven't put all the other options on the table. Not only have you not put all these other options on the table, like the choice between doing that for their emotional state versus acting in your integrity. You haven't even thought about that as an option to pick from in that situation. But when you only have these two options, this choice is just not actually one you're going to make. You only have one line to go down, and so of course you will go down it. And this is why, even when you feel like you're acting with volition in the world, I want you to question your thoughts. Question what choices you're actually making available to yourself. Question how your thinking is limiting the options that you put on the table for you. Question your thoughts. This is what we do with mindset coaching. This clarity creates more choice and control for you. And isn't that what you deserve for your life? I want you to be able to make choices that make you proud. And that's why I want you to join us in Dare Darling. We've got the most beautiful group to do this work with, and we are off and racing with the most important, impactful, and vulnerable topics the benefit of that vulnerability, being willing to look at these parts of our mind that create these Hobson choices and have these confusions and objections and mixed up logic and biases in them. When we're willing to look at the way that our mind's not quite perceiving the world accurately, or even just in the way that we want it to. The willingness to look at how we're not showing up the way that we want to gives us the opportunity to change that and show up the way that we want to. So you deserve to be a part of Dare Darling with us, so you can do this work and free yourself too. The links to Dare Darling are down below. Give this video a like if you found this content helpful, so that I know what to make more of, what helps you. And I'll see you guys in my next one.